Well, Meta has 80%, I guess, of market share. I feel more confident on Apple platform. Nobody cares about B2B on Twitter. People want like a mass consumer device from Apple. Still 60% tech show event apps. It's going to take off next year, I feel.
Hi everyone, welcome to this third episode of XR Café. Today I'm very happy to welcome Krikorian. He's an XR developer, he's been working in the space since 2014, starting with the Oculus DK2. He actually now runs his own business developing apps on the Vision Pro, and I'm very happy to welcome him. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So let's start with the first question. So actually, I saw, you started building VR experiences in 2014 with this Oculus Rift DK2 to be precise. Can you share more about it? What brought you actually to start XR, and what was this first project?
My first project was in XR was in real estate. So for viewing architecture projects before like building them. And what drove me to XR was, at the time I was a huge gamer. And so gaming was kind of starting with the Oculus DK1 actually. So in my engineering school, there was a lot of students interested about Oculus already. And when I tried the first developer kit, I was like, oh, this could be my career path, you know? And that's how it started basically. And as soon as possible, I was looking for like internship using the Oculus, yeah.
Okay, great. And I would say now, 10 years later, after working with so many companies as an XR software engineer manager, actually you launched about a year ago your own company called Tap2Tap.
Yeah.
Basically, you're doing visionOS app development. Can you share more about it?
Yeah, so I started getting interested about the Vision Pro when it was announced in June 2023. And at the time, it was at the end of a previous company I was working for called Opus Corp. And sadly, the company closed down at the end of 2023. And I was looking for the next big thing. And like the Vision Pro was out in February 2024. So it was the right time to like start bidding for it. And it led me to create a company in January this year. That focus solely on visionOS development, especially for the B2B side, so working for enterprises. And it's been a pretty good business so far. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it.
What made it more appealing to work on the Vision Pro rather than the Quest? Because like Quest and actually Pico also are very present also globally, even in enterprise. What was more appealing about the Apple one?
When I tried it, for me it was like the most advanced operating system I've seen in a long time. And I was like, oh, okay, so Apple got something. There are clearly issues with the hardware currently. We all know it, Apple knows it. And but yeah, as I sense that it will be a very good platform to build on. And I was kind of tired of doing Meta Quest development because it's for me, it's not the right platform for business application. Not the best one, at least. But still, Meta has like 80%, I guess, of the market share currently. So obviously, it's being used in many companies. But I do think it's not the best one for various reasons, DOS being one. I was like, okay, so maybe this time instead of also focusing on many platforms, because in my past I was like doing development for Quest, for Magic Leap, for HoloLens. I did a lot of HoloLens, yeah.
It's great.
And I was like tired of the working on too many platforms, so I was like, okay, let's focus on Apple because I love the product, I see the potential in it, and also I would say it's a niche inside the niche because it's like a very small market, the Vision Pro. But once you're good at it, you do get some nice projects, and I see the potential in a few years that it will be a growing ecosystem. Yeah.
Okay, and actually, if let's say someone from Meta listens to this video, watches this video, is there any recommendation, anything you would like on their platform to be more appealing, like for you is the Apple Vision Pro?
I was asked this question a lot, and if someone from Meta is listening, I would say stability of the OS is critical. Monetization, a path to monetization is critical too, because currently the store is a mess. So I haven't seen the recent change. I think there were some changes in the Quest Home and the Quest Store, but I haven't really looked at it recently. But I don't feel like I'm not confident I can make a business on the Quest platform as a small solo developer right now. I feel more confident on the Apple platform currently. And so far it's been really working, being focused on that. Yeah.
Okay, and I was gonna say actually recently, like a couple of weeks ago, Samsung released the new Galaxy XR.
Yeah.
First headset powered by Android XR. What do you think about it? Is it a platform you also consider maybe building for?
Yeah, I tried to build for it a few months ago.
Yeah.
When I launched my company, I was like, okay, I'll focus on the Apple platform, but if it's not working out, I need to, don't put everything in the same basket. So I was like, okay, let's look at Meta Spatial SDK and Android XR. So Meta Spatial SDK is the native development tool to create native apps for the Quest Horizon OS. And
I think it seemed to be the way for them to port the Android apps that are 2D based
So
to the headset. Right?
Just like you have the iOS apps who can run on visionOS, Meta and Android XR provide this path for developers, which I find very smart because currently the market is really tied to Unity 3D or this cross-platform 3D engine, but they're not the best at doing UI usually they're lagging behind in supporting native features, which is kind of critical on these platforms such as visionOS and Android XR. So so I was looking at these other native development tools because when I started Tap to Tap, I was like, no way I'm paying like 2,000 euros a year to support Vision Pro. No way I'm doing Unity development with shitty UI and overall the Unity 3D platform at the time, I've been struggling for years to have like a stable platform to build on with Unity. But it's the main one. It's still the main one. But I was like, okay, there is a different path available, which is native, which is still not mature, but still it's very easy right now to build good-looking 2D with some 3D apps for all these platforms, thanks to the native tools. So that was my bet.
And do you think it's because Unity doesn't prioritize XR development as much as they could? Or because I feel like it's such a powerful tool, why are they missing out on this? Or why are they not maybe doing better than you would expect?
I've seen a lot of comments from past employees that everything changed since the IPO, and I think they focused. The thing is that from what my understanding, Unity has been losing money for years, and so now their business, they need to focus on making money. So I totally understand that they now have expensive license and everything, and it's actually a good business decision. But for small developers like me, it just drove me away. But because I'm not that target anymore,
Okay.
And and on the stability and everything, I think at the time they tried to focus on too many things at once.
Okay.
And so it's a mix of poor leadership and lost focus. Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
But you would have to ask Unity
would
employees.
Would there be any other 3D engine, game engine, maybe you think would be interesting for people to develop an XR?
Godot is Godot is like the good choice, I guess, for the future. Like, give it a few more years, maybe it will be a good engine to.
Okay.
Unreal, it's kind of like with Apple, it's like there is a bad relationship with Epic Games, so there is like kind of some support, but not a strong one, obviously. Yeah. And still, like if you have to choose a cross-platform thing, today it would still be Unity 3D among all of these choices. Yeah.
Oh, and one one other question I had on the Vision Pro is actually recently Apple shipped the M5 powered Vision Pro. I think you got it.
Yeah.
What are the differences you think because you spent so much time with the first version? How do you see it?
So it's a refreshed Vision Pro, if we're honest. Like, it's just M5, so there is like the new strap that's more comfortable for some people. But this update is more about adding powers to the Vision Pro. So it does change things on the B2B enterprise side. If you want to run more advanced AI algorithms, or you want like basically more power, because people think that the M2 is enough for a lot of things, but it actually isn't. Okay. So if you can easily push the limits of the Vision Pro M2 with like advanced 3D rendering and like, so it was limited for enterprises. It's not limited for B2C. Like, if I have the M5 will not change the life of the people who bought it as early adopters, curious buyers who thought that, this is a mass market device, which it isn't, obviously, the Vision Pro isn't that. But for enterprises, M5 is like a very good update to signal that Apple is still committed to the space, that things are coming in the future too. And it's to keep the ball rolling, basically.
And actually, referring to what you just said, a lot of people think the Vision Pro is not much used in general, especially because it's quite an expensive product and not everyone can afford to buy it. But actually, I believe, and from discussions we've had in the past, that most of the demand you're getting actually for building apps on the Vision Pro are coming from enterprise B2B. Actually, can you share more about maybe the kind of project you work for? Maybe if you can share the kind of clients, maybe another type of technology, and maybe the kind of projects, because I think a lot of people are not aware of this actually.
Yeah, so...
And Apple doesn't seem to promote it that much actually. A little bit, but I feel...
recently,
a little bit more than...
Yeah. They actually launched a dedicated website for enterprise using the Vision Pro in August, I think.
Okay.
So they're like slowly promoting more use case, but it's like under the radar because nobody cares about B2B on Twitter or like people want like a mass consumer device from Apple because they're not for that.
They are not for consumer product,
But like there's a nice thing with the Vision Pro, and my clients are mainly, I would say, enterprises such as like the company in France I'm working for right now is SNCF, like the train company in France. Like if you take a train in France, there is 90% chance it's SNCF, and so in XR it usually starts with like we did with them. It's like a small project for a tech show event to show the future of what could be the future with the AR and VR. And honestly, we've been doing that for I think 10 years. It's always that, but it's the doorway to more projects after that. So usually, like right now, we're experimenting training and industrial design application with the work we did with the tech show event app, actually, because we created a 3D model of the train, and this model, which is very high quality, it's good looking. It's not what you get in like usually like software to see the 3D representation of the train that's used by engineers. So it's more like good looking marketing version. But this version is also very appreciated because it helps like the design team for training. If it looks more realistic, it helps with training. So we're experimenting that with them. And other companies that I can mention are also interested in these use cases. And hopefully that will be part of my clients in next year. But yes, if I'm honest, for now it's like, I would say still 60% it's like tech show event apps.
Okay.
A small percentage is like apps for the public app store, so which can be weird because I'm keep saying like, oh, it's a B2B device, but still, if you want to prepare for the future of like other visionOS devices that might come out, you need to start early. So it's good to get the knowledge now and get the maybe some revenue later.
And actually, regarding the experiences you built, for example, for SNCF, I believe this was more like a VR experience because I think it's a 3DoF experience, right? Isn't it, in the train?
It's okay. It's a seated experience. It's not 3DoF. It's actually 6DoF. You can walk around.
You can walk around?
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I didn't know.
But for the
so it's VR style, but 6DoF.
Yeah,
There's no pass-through AR, right?
When you start, actually,
okay, so there's a bit of mix.
Yeah. It starts in mixed reality, and then we have like there is a logo of the SNCF coming at you, and then it's like a 3D portal actually.
Okay.
And you get kind of teleported inside the train.
Okay.
And so it's mixed, and then it's full immersive.
The reason why I'm saying this is because I was wondering if actually most of the requests coming to the Vision Pro are more like VR experience, like training, where you're in an environment that is out of the environment you're in, or either actually an inbound for actual pass-through AR experiences. Because the reason why I'm sorry for the trains, because the videos I've seen, I've only tried it once.
Yeah.
I thought it was like you're mostly sitting and looking around, but actually this is interesting because you're mixing this kind of VR style with 6DoF.
Yeah.
But actually, do you see actually mostly B2B, more like VR style experiences, or is it more AR? Because obviously the Vision Pro is like an extremely luxurious VR experience with very high definition. So because if you do this, it's more easy to port it to other devices too, as well, in case they needed one there. So.
Yeah. I would say it's mostly VR in a sense, but at the same time,
complete virtual environments.
I would say it depends, honestly.
It depends? Okay.
But like in this case, for the tech show event, it was full immersive. So the core of the experience is being inside the train that does not exist. So that's the main use case of VR. It's like if it's not physically possible to be somewhere or to see something that's not available yet, you use VR and then for the mixed reality, if we use the term mixed reality, I have some projects where we use mixed reality and spatial understanding. Okay. So meaning that you use the LiDAR and everything to scan the room, and then you kind of like for real estate design, if you have an empty office, then you can put everything in it, from like a library of 3D furnitures and everything. So
maybe 70% full virtual environment and 30% more like AR style mixed reality.
Yeah. For now, it is. Yeah.
Okay. No, it's great because I feel it's interesting because maybe some of the older use cases coming from the VR days without AR pass-through are maybe also being ported to this new kind of generation of devices, and maybe the enterprise clients don't necessarily think about the AR capabilities and maybe how that could also be relevant to their use cases. So maybe something is actually on you, like that you can evangelize to them when they come to you, like, okay, we want a better version of what we had before, and then like, okay, now we can actually do this that we couldn't do before. So maybe it's part also of discussion with them.
Yeah, I mean, what drives the current clients to the Vision Pro instead of the Quest 3, for example, it's that they see the difference with the quality of the screen, obviously, the quality of the OS too, because like, I'm sorry, but when you put a Vision Pro on someone that's never used VR or AR before, it's way easier to onboard them than on a Quest.
Okay.
And some people, depending on your targets, some enterprises don't see the Quest as a work device because it looks like a console. It's like it's plastic, it's gaming oriented, you know.
Yeah.
You have the controllers, so they think, okay, this is for games, you know.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I do think like depends on the clients, but a lot see them as like a gaming platform that they bought for the kids, like
a game console.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Vision Pro, it's like looks like it's a Vision Pro, so there is Pro in it, and it looks more professional for some enterprises that never really considered that before, you know. And for existing one, I don't know. It's
maybe with Meta there was more of this feeling with the Quest Pro.
Yeah,
the Quest Pro had a more kind of professional, high-end look.
Yeah, but it was kind of dead on arrival in a sense, and in a sense, okay, it looks like the Vision Pro in a way, but
But before the Vision Pro.
Before the Vision Pro, and it failed on, I think, the stability of the OS and many parts. So, but when the Vision Pro came out, like everything worked perfectly, and it was like a very smooth user experience.
Okay.
And obviously, like the issue is the price and the comfort, and we all know these details. But like still, it was a better experience overall. Yeah.
Next question, actually, regarding your vision with this technology.
Yeah.
Let's do some prediction. You know, the fun game in XR. You know, the hard game in XR. You know, where do you see the Vision Pro or Vision products in 5 years from now, in 2030? And XR in general, but I would say at least starting with the Vision Pro.
It's going to take off next year, I feel. No. Yeah, we say that every year. I would say, like, for me, there are two paths currently of products. So we have like the glasses taking off with a display and all the, like, you're the expert in glasses, but the form factor of glasses is taking off. And for B2C and mass market adoption, it's the form factor that people want, because the headset is too... Okay, we'll reduce the size of the headset, obviously, it's the trend we're going towards. But still, it's not the device that you'll wear every day. So if you go out in the street, you don't wear your headset, basically. It's not the use case for it. Like, for me, the two paths we have is glasses as an extension of your iPhone, for now, and for at least I think the next few years that will be the case, and headset as kind of replacement extension of your computer at home or at the office. And it shows with the way a lot of people do things that a lot of people enjoy with the Vision Pro casting their Mac with the Mac Virtual Display feature, like using their Mac and working in the Vision Pro and have unlimited screens. People make fun of that feature, but it's one use case of the device. But and you see that on Quest headset 2, Android XR 2, but yeah, I think like the headsets will be here for very niche use case maybe. So I don't see the headsets are like taking off that much. It will be a good niche market, you know, like you'll make money in this market, but true money will be on the glasses form factor in XR. And I think that these two categories will fight in the next few years. But
probably will merge at some point.
Yeah, the merging will be... The thing is
at some point,
but
the line.
Still like...
It's quite, yeah.
You'll need a way to like see through, pass through is needed for like some use case, like because you need to fully replace reality.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think physically we cannot just like make it possible.
I'm guessing, like, for example, for the use case where you're saying some people are using it to see their laptop.
Yeah.
I think if with a large field of view on glasses, some people are already buying them for. You know?
Like the X-Rail does that.
Exactly.
It's
still bird bass optics, so it's still more like at home or where alone. With some of them now with kind of regular style glasses, actually, I think we're going to see more and more of these use cases. And probably for cheaper than headsets,
cheaper.
at least for now.
I think what will drive
it depends what headset.
Yeah, obviously, but like as we progress, like Samsung display and the cost of display goes down, and all, like when we reach a point where we have devices around like under $1,000, and then we have like more advanced, like if like, just like a Mac, you know, you can choose the RAM, the M, like the processor in it, and you can choose how much power you want in your computer. Maybe we'll see that in headsets in the future, and we just treat them as a replacement for computers or extension. And for the glasses too, we'll have different categories of glasses, but I think like the main use case will be like, maybe just look at your screen inside it, watch movies. When you're in the street, you can just receive your notification. Which I enjoy a lot on my Meta Ray-Ban display, for example. Like even if it's only one screen, I see the potential of having glasses with two screens, and that could like be that will be a very nice extension of your smartphone.
I have a pair in my backpack. I will show you after we start recording.
Yeah, you need to show it to me.
And I was gonna say, I mean, before we wrap up, for anyone, because you've been very visible online. A lot of people in the visionOS community are reading your tweets, or reading your point of views. I think you've been very honest, and I think people appreciate it. I feel like, what would be for you the top 3 tips, advices for anyone starting with visionOS development?
Okay. I would say that you only need one good client in B2B. Like, if you have one client, usually if you find a very good use case and you manage to get that one client, that can already start your path as a solo developer, because these enterprises have much bigger budget than like smaller companies. So that gets you your first year, I would say. And that's more on the business tip side. Technical side is like, don't go on the Unity because there are too many people already on that.
Okay.
So go it's crowded. So choose a less crowded space. So XR is a very small space already, but you can still find, I was saying, a niche inside the niche. So find that niche, and then you can make your business out of it, and hopefully it works for you as it worked for me. And
third tip. Yeah. What is the third tip?
Surround yourself with good people, because don't see other developers or like as competition, but they can actually bring you business, because like I'm part of a collective of freelance companies called Studio 84, and like we got hired together on a project, and it's like, because it was too much for one person, and sometimes I get a project and it's too much just for me, so I will need some help, and it works the other way around. Like if you do that with other developers, if they have a contract, they'll come to you and say, hey, I need some help on this. And and you learn a lot from each other's, because it's still very new, the Vision Pro. Like it's been 2 years. Like visionOS we don't know everything yet about visionOS, but if you surround yourself with a good community, it helps you grow much better, and you can target more clients, and because like they recognize that you're like the top voice of your niche, and that's what I think helped me to get recognized in the visionOS space.
Cool. And I would say, to wrap up, if anyone wants to reach out to you for a project or getting your advice, what would be the best way to do so?
Just send me, like, I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, and you can put the links in the comments. But basically I'm a lot on Twitter and LinkedIn, and obviously there's my email, but you can find it on LinkedIn.
Okay, great. Well, I think we're going to wrap up. Thank you everyone for joining this third episode of XR Café. If you enjoyed, please leave a comment. I'm happy to keep improving this format and doing more. Thank you so much, Tom, for joining us, sharing so much insights that he has in this field. And see you next time. Bye.